What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 97 of our Madden 23 Philadelphia Eagles franchise mode. We are in the thick of things now. We are at the back end of this series. Only a couple more episodes left of this series. But Philadelphia coming into this season right now, coming off of a Super Bowl loss. Yes, a Super Bowl loss, the first loss of Nick Sirianni's career here in the Super Bowl. Something that he hopes that never happens again. But coming into week one, hopefully he can rush for a $150 against the Detroit Lions. So yeah, here we go against the Detroit Lions. Week one of this brand new season. Philadelphia, their goal right now, get rings. Get rings, get rings, get rings. That is all they are in the process of doing right now. That's their main go-to right now, is how many rings can Sirianni and Richardson do together. It's a cool concept to think, hey, Philadelphia as a team has 4 Super Bowl championships. One with Foles, one with Brady, and 2 with Anthony Richardson. Nick Sirianni has 3 of them. He does have 1 loss, but hey, even Bill Belichick lost in the Super Bowl. It happens. Mike Tomlin lost in the Super Bowl. It does happen. But Philadelphia coming in this one, taking on Detroit last season, 47 touchdowns, 5,300 yards for the Detroit Lions passing offense. I mean, you like to see that right now. And take a look here at Philadelphia. Last season, 2,600 yards on the ground, averaging 4.2 yards a carry, 6.3 yards per scramble attempt. So Philadelphia's rushing attack has gone down a little bit since the previous season. I believe started last year. Philadelphia's averaging about 4.7, 4.8 yards per carry. But right now, about 4.2, still very good. But just a little tick downward, which I'm not worrying too much about. But coming in this one, Philadelphia needs a big victory here in week one. They get down 3-0 in the first quarter. Philadelphia, come on, we need a touchdown right now. Let's get a touchdown. We get a field goal tie game here. The second quarter, the Detroit Lions score a touchdown. We need Philly to rally back. They get a touchdown of their own, so still tied here at 10 apiece. Quick touchdown for the Lions. And now third quarter, Philly, there you go. They tie it back up again. There, Philadelphia gets another quick touchdown, 24-17. The turnover leads to a 31-24 game now. So Philly, final 4 minutes, up by 14 points. I could definitely be the difference maker right now, up by 41-24. All right, I think Philly's got this one. Big week 1 win here for the Philadelphia Eagles. You like to see that. Head coach of the Lions, he's not too happy with what he just witnessed. And honestly, I wouldn't be too happy either. 41-24 blowout here on week 1 of the brand new NFL season. Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson, they faced a few times. Regular season, postseason, it's a bit of a rivalry between these two, and honestly, it's a pretty one-sided rivalry right now. But Philadelphia, they're 21 times pressured, that QB. Oh, that poor QB. 21 times pressured. 4 touchdowns, no picks for Richardson. 70 yards for Bijan or Robinson. We didn't get 150. 74 yards for Kupp. Smith got some good yards. A.J. Brown was okay. 2 sacks allowed, one by Mulatto, one by Banks. Tremaine had 10 tackles with the team. 5 sacks from Brian Breezy. 2 sacks from Micah Parsons. 1 sack from Josh Sweat. Pretty good. A lot of pressures, though. 2 picks, 1 from Ronnie, 1 from Trayvon. Dave's perfect. Some punt from Greg. No kick returns, but there's a punt return. Now coming in here, C.D. Lamb. He wants to talk about the success of this past week. Hey coach, we got a big win. We rallied late in this game and we got ourselves a big win. It's what you like to see there. Philadelphia, they're a team that gets on a hot streak and they just roll with it. The entire team right there gets 1,000 XP, even though they ain't rushed for the 150. We also get 5 staff points. All right, so we are jumping ahead now in this one. We are simming to the midway point. Week 8, I believe it's where it dumped us off last time. So week 8, here we come. Looking for Philadelphia to hopefully be like 7-0, 8-0 on the season. Maybe like a 6-1, if it's a bad stretch of things. Philly's a winner, honestly. Philly's a winner. there's no reason for Philadelphia to not come out here and be as productive as they could possibly be. Week 6 going by right now. Philadelphia hopefully undefeated. Week 7, here we go in 2029. I mean, it's week 8. Yeah, week 8's where it drops us off, even though it's not the halfway point, technically. But Philadelphia 6-0 so far through 7 actual weeks of football. The 2-5 Washington, 4-2 Giants, and the 0-6 Cowboys. 0-6 Cowboys. So right there, you got 1,500 yards from Richardson, 658 from Bijan Robinson, only 3 touchdowns. 400 from Devontae, 313 from Lamb, 276 from Baylor Cupp, 236 from A.J. Brown. Tackles were led by Devontae with 6, 4 from Cupp. Sack-wise, 3 sacks allowed by Banks, 2 from Mulatto, 1 from Big Dick, and 1 from Darren Hill. All right, 6 games played is the most of any player on our team. So, that's crazy. Only 6 games played. I think we have 7 wins. So, no offensive line started all the games. 12.5 sacks leads the team. 4 picks leads the team. You like to see that one right there. A lot of sacks for this team. A lot of picks as well. Greg McCain, 13 punts. This is okay. Kick returns are meh. Punt returns are even worse. But going forward to the end of the season, taking a look here how Philadelphia is doing. So they're 7-0 right now at the halfway point of the season. So I'm looking for maybe a 16-1, 15-2, maybe 14-3 at the worst, honestly. 14-3 to 16-1. I don't think we're gonna go 17-0. That would be wild. 15-2. All right, so pretty good guess right there. 15-2. Now taking a look here, we get ourselves the first round bye at 15-2. The Giants 10-7, Washington 7-10, and Dallas 3-14. 47 yards for Richardson, 51 touchdowns, 14 picks for the former FSU QB. I like to see that. 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns for Bijan. 500 yards and 12 touchdowns for Anthony Richardson, leading our team in rushing touchdowns. So Richardson, a 60-touchdown season. That's insane right there. 60 touchdowns for Anthony Richardson. 1,200, 1,100, and 972 for our top 3 receivers. 15 touchdowns for AJ, 11 for Brown, and 9 from Devontae. You like to see that. Mulatto allowed 8 sacks, 7 from Banks, 5 from Big Dick, 3 from Patterson, 2 from Jurgens, which is awful. Now, tackles 119 from Tremaine, Jeremiah right behind him. 12 tackles from loss from Brian Breezy. 27.5 sacks from Micah Parsons. 26 from Brian Breezy. 6 picks from Trayvon, 3 from Chauncey, 2 from Tremaine, 2 from Avante, 2 from Kool-Aid, 1 from Jeremiah and Ronnie Harrison Jr. Kicking-wise, 10 for 11 and 77 for 79. 34 punts on the year. Chase, and Peoples, on kick and punt returns. We lost L.J. Johnson, and we entirely lost our ability to do special teams. I don't know what happened with this team, but they just can't do special teams right now without L.J. Johnson. I would take on the Saints, though, here in the second round of the playoffs. They beat the Falcons 27-10. So the Saints, I think we've played the Saints between this year and the last 2 years, the 3 seasons in a row now, we've played the Saints in the playoffs, especially in this round. Which is wild because the Saints, what are you doing? How do you keep matching up against Philadelphia? It's like the yearly NFL script where it's like, all right, so Richardson's going to do okay, Bijan's going to do fine, Cowboys are going to be awful. They're going to think that this is their year, but it's not going to be their year. They're going to go actually sub 500, have a top 5 pick in the draft, and then draft a bust still regardless. But coming through this, I don't know. I don't know how we've matched up against the same team 3 times in a row. That's absolutely insane, honestly. But hey, you just got to keep doing what you're doing, honestly. Hopefully you get yourselves a big win this week. Advance back to the championship game. And then hopefully, and I really do mean hopefully, get another ring, honestly. Get the franchise's 5th ring. 5 rings, absolutely insane. I believe 5 rings ties Dallas Cowboys, right? That's the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl number, right? It's 5. Like, this isn't a bit right now. I'm generally thinking, like, is this the Dallas Cowboys? Gotta look it up now. Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl wins. Let's see. They have the first one was in what, 77? I don't know. I gotta find it. Give me a second. I'm looking. They have 5 Super Bowl championships: 71, 77, 92, 93, and 95. All right, so this would tie the Dallas Cowboys if we win this year. I mean, we're up 24-20, final 5 minutes, 24-27, the Saints take the lead, but Philadelphia rallies back quickly, 31-27. Can we get another quick score here? Something. Field goal, 38-33, Philadelphia. They get the very close victory against the Saints. The Saints are a thorn in the side of Philadelphia. Let's be honest now. A real thorn in the side of Philadelphia. A team that, I don't know, a team that I'm not enjoying going up against every week. Or I guess every episode right now because we're 7 full seasons. But we can only do so much with the teams that we're given in front of us. But Philadelphia, here we go. Back to the championship game. No, QB has pressured 11 times. The QB got pressured. That's wild. We did throw an interception, which isn't great. I don't like that we threw an interception, honestly. It's just kind of how it is sometimes. Richardson, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Buck 17 from Bijan with a touchdown. 76 yards from Baylor. 79 from A.J. Brown. CD was okay. Let's see, 1 sack allowed by Patterson and Banks. 11 tackles from Breezy, 2 tackles from loss from Breezy, 5 sacks from Breezy. What an absolute animal. And we bring in Micah Parsons, and Brian Breezy just has a career year. No picks for Philadelphia, which is unfortunate. Gardner missed a field goal, 3 punts from McCain. Kick and punt teams are meh. Special teams has kind of just gone by the wayside now. Now, here we go. We have a rematch of last year. Did we play the Detroit Lions last season in the championship round? I know we did it 2 seasons ago. We had the whole episode titled, Keep the Lions Out of the Super Bowl. That would be wild if, I think I really think that this is, I don't know. I really think that this is like the 3rd year in a row we've also played the Lions in this game. Which, come on, like, give us a better matchup, please, something. Anything. I'd rather play the Cowboys, honestly. Get the Cowboys in the playoffs, defeat the Cowboys in this round. That would be bonkers right there. Unfortunately, probably won't see that happen. But take a look at the offense so far in the playoffs. Absolutely killer. Averaging just under 4 yards a carry via the ground. It's a pretty good offense we have going for us right now. Passing touchdowns for the Lions in the season, 39, 5,400 yards, 78% pass completion. But I mean, like, they had better passing attack last season, and we held them to, I guess, 2 seasons ago, and we held them to less than, 50 yards passing. Absolutely obliterated Bryce Young. That offensive line, don't know what happened to it, but it just did not show up. The last time we actually got on the sticks and played against the Lions. But Philadelphia hopefully doing the same thing this season. We go up by 3 points here, ending the first into the second. Come on, Philly, get some more points. We go up by 6 now. In the second, Detroit moving it. They get a touchdown, take a 1-point lead. Philly needs to rally back, and they get a touchdown. It's 13-7. All right, Philadelphia. Oh, go up 27 real quick. A bunch of quick scores in succession right there. Field goal makes it 23-15 after Detroit scores. Final 2 minutes here in the third. It's 23-18. Now final just over 5 minutes. Now it's 30-18. Philadelphia with the lead. Come on, 33-18. Philadelphia's got it. Final 2 minutes goes up 40-18 right now. And a big victory for Nick Sirianni here and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions, again, cannot get over the hump of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a real shame if you're a Lions fan right now. You see, we're in the championship game again. It's the Eagles. It's just a real unfortunate circumstance if you're a Lions fan. And you got to go against Anthony Richardson and this defense, especially defense that brings in Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons had over 25 sacks this season, and so did Brian Breezy next to him. And it's like, yeah, it's not even as close to the fact that our starting quarterback had, 60 total touchdowns on the season. 96 yards from Bijan, 132 from CD, 139 actually, 47 from Cup. H. Brown had 47. Bunch of touchdowns. 2 sacks allowed by Malata. Tackles led by Jeremiah Trotter with 8. Bunch of tackles for loss with 1 apiece in this. Sack-wise, sack and a half from Micah, sack from Breezy, and sack from Davis. Gardner, McCain did fine for special teams. Kick return, non-existent. Why would it be? Punt return, 19 yards, so non-existent. Taking a look here at the Pro Bowl. A lot of good names. Will Shipley, Scary Terry, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dawson Knox. Let's see. Frank Ragnow, Lindstrom, Spindler, Chase Young, Nick Bosa. Jalen Carter's up there. So some real good names. Unfortunately, hear me out. Unfortunately, there's not as good as names here in Philadelphia. But coming this one, we are taking on the Texans again. So back-to-back seasons, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the Houston Texans. So an absolutely wild outcome right now, taking on the Houston Texans. You get 10 staff points based off Nick Sirianni's press conference, saying, hey, it's all about getting that victory, tying the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl victories with 5. So Quinn Ewers, still the starting QB here of the Houston Texans. They have number 8, Addison, right there. Their defense looking pretty okay right now. Wouldn't say it's as good as Philadelphia's offense or defense, which had 2 players go over 25 sacks in this season. So, I mean, if your defense has like 70 sacks and 50 of those sacks come from 2 players, it's a pretty good year. I think actually 60 of those sacks. No, like 50 something. 26, 27 and a half, so that's like, what, 50, 53 sacks. Absolutely bonkers. But here we go. Philadelphia taking on the Houston Texans. Yet again, back-to-back seasons these two have met up in the Super Bowl. So they are well familiar with each other. Philadelphia, chip on the shoulder coming in this one. They are the underdogs. Because after being the favorites last year, they lost this team. And with this team staying roughly the same, I mean, a lot of the bettors are saying, hey, the Houston Texans are going to upset Philadelphia yet again. And it's going to be kind of like a pseudo-favorite to win this one as a Texan, just based off of last season. So Philadelphia goes down early 7-0. They rally back in the first, tied up 7 apiece. Rounding out the first, it's still tied. Houston allows for a 7-point touchdown right there. Now Philadelphia up by a score here as the second quarter winds down. And the Texans are pushing, and they get a field goal out of that one, so it's 14-10. A quick score by Philadelphia, and then a quick score by the Texans. A couple quick scores by the Texans, actually. 21-19. Philadelphia's offense stalemating right now. Just cannot get down the field. There you go, 27-19 after Philadelphia's defense steps up. So 27-19 as the Texans make it 27-25. Final minute of this one. And Philadelphia, they hold on to this one. Another very tight game against the Houston Texans. The Texans apparently just have Philadelphia's number, as Philadelphia scored 21 points, I believe, like the first quarter and a half, and just got absolutely shut out really until the last bit, where they did score a late touchdown and got some late points. But Philadelphia, absolutely strange to see what they have happened. You know, going from definitely Super Bowl favorites to begin the season to make it, to then winning it, their 5th in franchise history. You love to see that one right there. There you go, Beef Jergens. Look at him. Look at him celebrate. You love to see it. Anthony Richardson, he's going to hoist the trophy in this one. Celebrating for all of Philadelphia. There is another parade coming down Broad Street. You know, for the first time in the past 2 seasons, so since 2027, hasn't been a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. 87 yards for Bijan. There was 4 touchdowns, by the way, from Richardson. 86 yards from Devontae, who picks up his 4th ring as an Eagle. Malata and Banks both allowed sacks. Defensively led by Trayvon Diggs, tied with Trotter. 2 tackles for loss, only 1 sack from Sweat. No picks, surprisingly. Gardner missed a field goal. 3 punts from Greg McCain. 50 kick return yards and only 2 punt return yards. Philadelphia wins this one 27-25, tying the Dallas Cowboys with 5 Super Bowl championships. Richardson is your Offensive Player of the Year. Brian Breezy, Defensive Player of the Year. You know, so no Nick Sirianni, as Robert Saleh makes Coach of the Year. Going through the retirees in this one, any big names, honestly? Let's see, Frank Ragnow's up there, Debo Samuel. Hassan Reddick calls it a career, so that's going to be a real hit on the defense. He was relegated technically to being, I guess, Micah Parsons' backup. Former Eagles Sidney Jones, Tre'Davious White hangs up, Von Bell, Xavier Woods. Tony Pollard, he was a Philadelphia Eagle last season. He came to join, the ring chasing of Cowboys. Didn't win, but then walked in free agency, didn't re-sign apparently. Lovie Smith, he retires after the Super Bowl, so what an unfortunate way to end for Lovie Smith, Like, a real unfortunate way to end. Lovie Smith wins it last year, and he could have retired then, go out on top, go out a winner, and goes, no, I want to go one more season. He goes the one season, and then he goes out as the second best head coach in the league. He doesn't go out on top. He goes out as the second best head coach in the league, which is wild. Not league history, just in the 2029 season. As he loses to Nick Sirianni, who just finds a way to outcoach a bunch of players, which is absolutely wild. Howie Roseman, though, he's still the GM here. He's bringing back a bunch of the core players, bringing back a bunch of the fan favorites, because, if Philadelphia lets all of the fan favorites leave, all of the core players leave, it's going to be like, all right, what's the point? Philadelphia's going to riot. What's the point of watching this team? This team doesn't care about winning. You have this great core, and you're just going to let them all walk? So Philadelphia brings in the one and only free agent they go after, Joey Porter Jr., former Penn State guy. Joey Porter, his dad played for the Steelers, right? Joey Porter played for the Steelers, I believe. Take a look at the draft here. Philadelphia went corner in the first round, wide receiver, tackle, fullback, tackle, safety. So they kind of went for some depth players right there. Lane Lilly is Mr. Irrelevant. Take a look at the offense in this one. You like to see this offense the way it's shaped up right now. Still really good. The defense is still very good in its own right. Look at all those red superstar X factors. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. Comment down below if you enjoyed this series. And definitely stay tuned for episode 98 of our franchise. So texting with you though. Peace out, rock on, stay super classy. Catch you next episode.